Welcome back. I'm Pat, and this is another story from the Family Records. Every episode features a new album we randomly pull from my collection. Make sure to become part of the family by subscribing and ringing the bell, that way you never miss the needle drop. Today's artist rose to fame as a guitarist in Bob Dylan's band during the 1970s. Today's album isn't available on streaming services, and the EP is out of print. It's an album that seems to have been lost to the masses, something a bit more obscure from the collection. Let's drop the needle on. T-Bone Burnett, Behind the Trap Door. T-Bone Burnett has made and produced music since the 1960s. After dropping out of Texas Christian University, he played drums and produced music for several bands, including legendary Stardust Cowboy, the Case Hardy Boys, and the group Whistler, Chaucer, Detroit, and Greenhill. In 1972, Burnett moved to LA, where he continued to produce music, and in 1975 and 1976, he toured with Bob Dylan's Rolling Thunder Revue. When Rolling Thunder Revue ended, Burnett and two other members, David Mansfield and Stephen Soules, formed the Alpha Band, which released 3 albums: the Alpha Band in 1976, Spark in the Dark in 77, and The Statue Makers of Hollywood in 78. After their third album, the Alpha Band disbanded, and as the 80s began, Burnett began to release solo albums. Okay, so T-Bone actually released a solo album in 1972 titled The B-52 Band and the Fabulous Skylarks. It was released with T-Bone credited as J. Henry Burnett. 8 years later, and now under the name T-Bone Burnett, Truth Decay was released. This album marked a string of 3 releases in 4 years, which includes today's album, Behind the Trapdoor. This string of albums, including Trapdoor in 1982, Proof Through the Night in 83, and Behind the Trapdoor in 84, also mark a period of lost music. As I said off the top, this album isn't available on streaming services, the EP is out of print, and although all the songs were reissued on a double CD with Trapdoor in 2007, the double CD was issued in a numbered limited edition of 5,000. Let me know if you got one. Speaking about Behind the Trapdoor in the album's liner notes, Burnett said, "I was just starting to come out of a dark personal time and was working these things out of my system. My original title was Beneath the Trapdoor. That's how it felt. Featuring 6 tracks over 2 sides, this record is actually a 45. It took me a couple of listens to figure that out." Seriously, I listened to the album the first time and I thought, the distortion on his voice sounds really interesting. The record is released through Demon Records. I thought it made perfect sense, given Burnett emerging from a dark personal period, that he'd make himself sound demonic. Of course, once I adjusted the record player to 45 RPM, the album sounded a little bit different. And it sounds great. Personally, I've been a Burnett fan for a while, certainly since I heard his work on True Detective. Of course, it makes sense for me, another soundtrack, but truly, the soundscapes Burnett produced on that album were incredible. I have my copy of that vinyl in my personal collection. Let me know if you want to see me talk about that record. Now, listening to the album didn't spark any nostalgia for me. It was definitely my dad's album. His name's on the back. But nothing is sticking out in my memory. Although, to be completely fair, when I was writing this part of the review, I was still finishing listening to the album for the first time at the right speed. So you got to take that into account, but nothing was standing out. And recording it now post, listening to it a few more times, nothing stood out. Good album though. It's a really fun, groovy little EP. Songs like The Law of Average have an upbeat dance rhythm, and Having a Wonderful Time, Wish You Were Her, I just can't help but think of The Simpsons, the Wish You Were Her postcard. I would add it to my streaming library or suggest you check it out too, but like I've mentioned a couple times, that's not possible. So I'll just enjoy this one for all of us. Now come back tomorrow to check out the album short for some of the music. Ring the bell so you don't miss that. There aren't any song stories for this album. There just wasn't enough information to make a full story about any of the songs, unfortunately. I was gonna say check out Behind the Trapdoor on YouTube, as I think usually more obscure stuff that you can't find on streaming services is on here. But I can't even tell you to do that because I couldn't find it anywhere here. So maybe let me know if you think I should upload the album. And here we go with closing thoughts. I didn't thank you guys. I thanked you yesterday. I should have thanked you. But thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for staying around for the end. So let's just get right to it. The 45 RPM. I don't know how. It doesn't say it on the cover, but there's 45s all over the album. There's 45s on it. There's 45s in the back. There's even a note that says to play at 45 RPM. Anyway, I listened to it like 1.5 times before realizing. But it's a shorter album, so it's all good. Like I wasn't like seriously sunk cost time. But yeah, it was almost too bad because it sounded really cool, like slowed down. Yeah, super interesting, but it sounded more normal at its actual speed. And I also promise you guys, no sad date stories this time. I just always strive for authenticity and being really emotionally honest and open. And since I started this series talking about the weather and stuff, I just think all these different things like play into each other and factor into like how you appreciate the music. So I just want to talk about how I was feeling and also about Uncle Tom, who I'll definitely talk about more as we go and get deeper into things. But just like he was definitely someone who struggled with those low emotions a lot, and I think that's just a super like human, like a really relatable thing that a lot of people understand and experience themselves, and obviously something T-Bone Burnett was going through or coming out of when he was making this album. So, you know, I just want to express those things honestly and be real with you guys when things happen with me, good and bad. So, and things are good. Everything's good. So there's nothing to be sad about, but yeah, I don't know. This episode, I definitely feel like we're getting on a roll here. You know, I'm starting to get caught up on everything that I was trying to do, starting to get caught up in my editing. Tomorrow I'll be recording more. Hopefully I'll be recording every day this week except for Friday. And it's been like so gross and rainy here. It'll be good if it can just turn nice. I'd appreciate that. But it's been a good time to recover, to regroup. Hopefully I'll be finishing my Italy footage on my second channel, so I'll be done that. I can finally move on to my wrestling footage, which has been from like February. I've been sitting on that. It's been way too slow, and just lots more projects and opportunities just keep opening up, keep lining up for me. So it's good. I just got to get on top of stuff, but I'm just going one day at a time, trying to maximize my time and my impact on as many things as possible, and just trying to make good stuff that audiences will find joy in. So that's really where my head's at these days. Like, everything is good, man. Things are awesome. So many things are coming my way, and just yeah, like I said, just every day, man. I'm putting the work in. I'm trying my best, and we'll see, right? We'll see what happens. But yeah, we're making good progress here, getting this done at this time on this day, and then just again every day now I'm just moving forward and pressing forward and getting more and more on top of things. So it's really good. I'm happy about things. I hope you guys are too. I hope things are good in your life. And yeah, I hope that these videos are bringing a little bit of joy. That would be great if they were. And if they are, like the video. Feel free to leave comments telling me what you liked about the video, what else you are thinking about, what you want me to look into. Do you want me, hold on. Here we go. Do you want me to talk about T-Bone Burnett, True Detective? Let me know. This is a hell of an album. This crazy double album. Woo, crazy. Crazy one. Great work. Great work on that, T-Bone. Anyways, I love you all. Thank you.